Good morning, and today we'll look into Git access control. Okay, so what do you mean by this access control? Git access control. Okay. Now, so far we have seen that we have been cloning the repository with the help of which user? Git clone, and then root user, and then IP address, right? IP address. Okay. Now colon the location. Okay, right. So far we have been cloning or pushing the changes to the repository with the help of which user? Root user, right? With the help of root user. But why would the developers see? I'm working as just say I'm working as a developer one. Just say I'm a developer one, right? So I'm a developer one. I'm pulling the repository onto my local system. Okay, and why would I will be given the root user credentials as a dev user. See, I'm a developer user. Okay, I'm a developer, but I'm entering the root user credentials. That means he is admin. He is a super user. Correct. So why would the developer will be having the super user credentials? He won't, right? He won't be having super user credentials. Then what he has to do? He has to enter his own credentials, right? He has to enter his own credentials and then the IP address. Okay. Like this. Okay. So the reference here is I'm cloning with the help of dev user, not by the root user. Okay. Because I'm a developer user, I need to have the dev credentials. I need to have the dev credentials. Okay. Clear? So let's look into this. How can we create users first, and how can we give access to those users for that particular repository? Okay, clear? So this is what we call access control, Git access control. Right. Now, let's look into this topic in today's session. Right. Now, so firstly, let me give you the stepwise. So what are the steps I need to follow first? Now, the first thing is, let's talk about the server side. Okay, on server side. Okay, on server side, I need to create some users first. I need to create some users. Okay, for example, okay, now I have a user called dev1 user. Okay, and then I create the particular user on server first. I create the user on server first. Okay, now, and once I create the user, what I want to do? Then provide, yes, provide credentials to user. Okay, and as well as see provide credentials to the user as well as permissions to the user. That means whether the particular user will be able to access that repository or not. So I need to provide the access as well. That means the permissions. First create the user, and then once you create the user, provide some credentials to the user, and then, or else let me do this. Assign permissions. Assign permission to user. Assign permissions to user. Okay. Now, so once we provide particular access, particular permissions to the user, then user will be able to access that repository. Okay, that means okay, and okay, I'll come back to that. So first, and then look into the client part now. Look into the client part. Even on the client side as well, obviously, see if the developer one is should present on the client side as well. See, I'm a developer 1. That means I'm accessing that repository as my user. I mean my credentials. That means I'm sitting on my own machine. So that means I need to have first, obviously, the client machine. Okay. On the client side, create the particular user. Okay. Create the user, and then again, that's it. Create the user and then assign credentials. Means the passwords and so and so. So here, no need to provide any permissions. So why? Yes, we are controlling that from server. We don't control it from the client side because see, we are administrators. We need to control everything from the client machine. Clear? So like that, we'll see for 2 users. Okay. Okay. So we'll look for 2 users. Okay. So this is what my requirement is. Okay. Now, and one more thing is that, see, on server, okay, on server, I have repository, right? Look at here, I am server side. Okay, I am on server. On server, I have a repository. What is the repository name? Get repo, right? That's our repository name. Okay, this is on server. Now, so on server, what I'll be doing is I'll be providing a unique URL for each and every user. That means, look at here, I have a dev1 user, right? For this dev1 user, what I'd be doing is I would be creating a URL of this repository for this dev1 user. So what does it mean? And then dev2 user. Okay, what does it mean creating URL here? See, look at here. If we just say I'm a developer 1. Okay, I'm a developer 1. I'm on my client machine. Okay, as a client, as a dev1, what I'll be doing is I'll be cloning the repository, right? I'll be cloning the repository. Git clone, and now as a dev1 user, okay, at the rate the IP address colon git repo. Clear? Now, so what happens here? I'm cloning as a dev1 user, right? I'm cloning as a dev1 user. So that means I'll be logging to the client, so to the server system as a dev1 user. Okay. Once I log into that, so this is the server. Okay. This is the server. So this is my server. Okay. Right. Now, so on server, now for example, just say I'm switching as some dev1 user, just say. Now look at here, I'm a dev1 user. I'm not a root user now. Now, so I just want to switch to change directly to user home directory. Okay. So what is the user home directory now? In home, okay, /home/dev1. So every user will be having his own home directory. So what is the dev1 home directory now? Dev1. Okay, clear? So he can perform all the operations only in his home directory, not other locations. Okay. For example, here I just want to create some file, touch some file. So it is created, right? File 1 is created. But just say I'm just moving to some slash location. Okay, I'm in slash location. I want to create touch file 1. I'm able to create it? No. Why? Because I'm not in a user home directory. So every time, remember this, if you want to perform any operations, create files, delete files or whatever, if you want to create such kind of operations, always you remember you must be in user home directory, because I'm not a super user, I'm not a root user here. Okay, clear? So that means now you understand the meaning of this command now. Okay, so he is cloning the repository from which directory? From his home directory, right? The home directory must present within his home directory. Okay, so if I give slash git underscore git hyphen repo, will you able to access this? Will you able to access this? Now look at here. Yes, correct. Now look at here, slash, right? In slash I have a repository, right? What is the repository? Where is this? Git repo. What is the location of this? cd git repo. So what is the location? Slash git repo. But will you able to access this repository? No. So what do you mean by accessing here? I'm trying to push it. I'm trying to push some changes onto this repository. So what do you mean by pushing here? Writing some changes to the repository. That means you are doing some changes to the repository. But where is the repository present? That's in slash location. Clear? That's in slash location, root user location, root location. So if it is a root location, will you able to access that repository? No. Now what I need to do now? I need to permissions. Okay. So instead of changing the permissions, so what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a link to this repository in user home directory. See, if you change the permissions, what's going to happen? The user can do anything with this repository. It shouldn't happen. Correct? It shouldn't happen. So user should not have entire access to this particular repository. For example, just say he wants to delete this repository, or just say is deleting some files, important files from this repository. Then that's going to affect us. So that shouldn't be done. So now that is the purpose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create kind of a copy of this repository. I want to create here actually a copy of repository into user home directory. Now every operation whatever is going to do, that will happen only in user home directory repository. It's the same repository. See, repository is the same repository, but I'm going to create a copy of that. That's it. I'm going to create a copy of that. Clear? So that is what we call, in terms of Linux, it is soft link. Soft link. Okay. So what is a soft link is creating a copy of the directory or repository onto user home directory. So what is the purpose of a soft link? See, usually we have in SVN, right? In SVN, we have browser URL, right? We have the browser URL. We have browser URL. So with the help of the browser URL, we were trying to push it like commit, okay, or clone. So what we call in clone, checkout, right? In SVN we call it checkout. So we were trying to check out with the help of this particular browser URL. The same way I want to create a URL for this particular user. Okay. So what do we call that? That is a soft link. Soft link is nothing but just kind of a URL, but it is a copy actually. See, whenever I create a soft link of this repository, so what is the repository here? Git repo, right? So whenever I create a soft link of this repository, okay, into user home directory, now I'm in user home directory. Okay. Now a repository will be created even in user home directory as well. Anyway, we'll see that. Okay. So a repository will be created in user home directory. That's nothing but a repository, but it is kind of a linking. So whenever I create this soft link in user home directory, okay, what happens? This soft link again will be linked to the actual repository. Link to actual repository. Okay, clear? So this is what is a soft link is. Soft link is nothing but it's a copy of the repository, but it's just a copy. Okay, it is linked again, but it is linked to actual repository. It is linked to the actual repository. Okay, clear? Right. So here, then create a soft link of repository in user home directory. In user home directory. In user home directory. Okay, clear? So first, create the user first. Okay, now I'm talking about on servers now. Okay, create that user and then assign permissions to the user, and create a soft link. Okay, clear? So everything we need to do it on server, but on client, just we need to create that user and then his credentials. Simple. Okay, clear? Now let's look into these steps. Okay, again, so first create the user first. Okay, and then assign some permissions to the user and then create a soft link of that user in user home directory. Okay, clear? So we have a directory called, now I want to switch back to root user now. So I'm a root user now. Okay, I'm a root user. Okay, so here we have a directory called 3d/home. So directory is /home. So in this directory, okay, what is the purpose of this directory is, in this directory you can see all user home directories. You can see the user home directories in this particular directory. Okay, clear? Now I want to create two users, as I said, dev1 user and the dev2 user. Okay, so firstly, but I have already those users existing, so I want to remove those users and then recreate them. Okay, so how can we delete a user? User remove or user del, I guess. User del and then username. It's logged in. Okay, we need to log out actually. We didn't log one. Exit. Okay. Now, see, I was not able to delete that because the user was logged in. Previously, I didn't log out of that user. I just switched from that user to root user. So again, I'm going to delete the user now. User del dev1 user is still logged in. Exit. Now again exit. Okay. Again delete it. User del dev1. Now it is deleted now. Okay. So the user is deleted, and then I want to delete one more user. User del dev. User is deleted. Okay. So cd/home. So we have deleted users, right? We deleted users, but how about these things? See, these are user home directories. Remember, these are user home directories. We have just deleted user, but we have not deleted the user home directories. Okay, so every user will be having his home directory. Every user. Okay. Now I want to remove the user home directories as well. Okay. See, it is just a directory. It is just a directory. So how do you delete a directory? How do you remove a directory? Remove -rf dev1 as well as dev2. So previously we have deleted users. Now we have deleted users home directories. Okay. Now, so let's create the users first. Let's create users. Okay. So let's create the users now. Okay. And one more thing is, I want to introduce one more new Linux concept, which is, I think, okay, it is groups. Okay. So what is a group? What's a group? Collection of users. Okay. What is the purpose of a group? Assigning. See, for example, I have some users. Okay, some dev1 user, and say dev2 user, and then dev3 user. Okay, like that I have about, just say, 10 users. I have 10 users. Okay. Now, for these 10 users, I want to assign some permissions. I want to assign some, just say, the read access, like this. I want to assign such kind of permissions to this 10 users. But are we going to assign the permissions to each and every user? No. So we assign the permissions to the users. We don't assign the permissions to the user. We assign the permissions to the groups. But before that, we need to make sure that all the users being added to the group. For example, I have a group called some dev group. I have a group called dev group. So to this group, first I need to add all these users first. I need to add all these users. Okay, add the users to group. Add the users to the group. Okay. Then, if you assign the permissions to this group, then all the users in that particular group will be having the same permissions, equal permissions. Clear? Right. Now let's first. I want to create a group first. I want to create a group. Then after that, assign some and add the users to the group. Then assign permissions to the group. Okay. Clear? Let's look into that part now. So we need to have the group first. We need to have the group first. So I'm creating a group first. But before that, group. I think the group is already existing. I just want to remove that group. Yes. Okay. Now, I just remove that group, dev group. So now, group. So this is the command to add a group, to create a group actually. Okay. Group add dev group. Now it is added. Okay. Now here comes the actual part. So first I want to create a user first. I want to create a user. So the command is user add. Okay. Then see, I'm adding a user. But while adding that user, while creating that user, I want to add that user into a group. Right? What is the group we have created? Dev group. Dev group. Okay. And same time, okay, I want to see as I said, every user will be having his own home directory, user home directory. I want to create the user home directory as well. I want to create the user home directory as well. How can I create -m and then one second, let me check this part. It's -d. Okay. So it is -d is the option. Okay. to create user home directory. -d, and where do we create the user home directories? In home directory /home, and then create the user home directory with his username. Okay, so that it is easy to identify for us even in the future. Okay, now then -m it's m and then s. Okay, let me check these options. Okay, so what is this? What are these options means? I want to assign some prompt. Like, look at here. What is the prompt I'm using here? It's a shell prompt. Okay, hash means shell prompt. I want to assign here which prompt? I want to assign the bash prompt to the user. So every user will be having his own prompt. Now I want to assign the bash prompt. Okay, and then bash, and then user name. Okay, so first user add, that means creating a user. Okay, which user? At the end I mention the username, dev1 user. Okay, and then while adding that user, I want to add that user into the dev group. Okay, and then creating user home directory of -d is the option. Okay, which location? /home/dev1 location, and then I want to assign the bash command, bash prompt to the user. Okay, then enter. So creating mailbox, no issues. Okay, so now user is created. How can we check user is created? You can switch to dev1 user now. So I'm able to access the user. I'm able to access that user. Okay, then exit. So we have just created user, right? But user, we have not assigned the password to the user. I want to assign password to the user. Now the command is pass wd, and the username is dev1. So with the help of this command, we can add password to the user. Okay, now it is asking to enter the password. So it is enter. Okay, so it is saying some bad password because I'm using the same password for root user as well as the dev users. That's why it's saying it's a bad password. Okay, no issues. So what is next? I want to create one more user. So we are done with the first user. Now I want to create one more user, which is dev2 user. Okay, now the same command, user add, and then user home, like user group. Okay, the group is dev2, and user home directory -d/home/dev1. Okay, then -m/bin/bash, and the username is dev2. So dev2, right? Here I have mentioned. Yes, yeah, correct. dev2. Okay, clear? Enter. So it is created, and then pass wd, and then dev2. So I'm just assigning the passwords to the user. Password. Okay, updated successfully. Okay. Now, so we are done with the user creation and adding the users into the group. So what is the next part? Now I need to assign permissions to the group. Correct. I would assign permissions to the group now. Okay. Now the users are part of the group, so I want to change the permissions of the particular group. Okay. Clear? Okay. Or else you can do this as well. Like for example, groups dev1. So what is command? What does this command gives you? This command gives you the number of groups the user is been added to. See, the one user can be added to multiple groups as well. Okay, but we have added that user only to dev group. Okay, like you can see groups dev2. Now dev2 has been added to group dev group. Okay, clear? Okay. Now we already have the repository. Okay. Now, what's our repository? Git repo. Okay. Git repo is a repository. Now, I want to change the owner of the particular repository. Okay. As of now, who is the owner of that particular repository? Where is this? Git repo, right? Who is the owner? Owner is root user. So I want to change the owner of that particular repository. Why? Because we are going to do some pushes, right? We are going to write some changes to the repository. So obviously we need to be owners of the group. Okay, clear? So if you are not the owner, you won't be given right pushing changes to the permission to the repository. So here I want to change the owner now. How can we do that? Ch owner -r. Okay, that means recursively. Okay, and who is the user now? Root user. I want to change that to dev group. Okay, yeah, and then the repository. Where is the repository location? I'm already in the slash location, right? I'm already in the slash location. So just go for git repo and then ls hyphen, yeah. Where is this? Yeah. Now look at here. It is dev group is the owner. Okay. Now, so we have just changed the user of that particular group. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to assign permissions to the user now, to the group actually. Okay, not to the user, to the group. Okay. Now, how can we change? How can we assign permissions of a particular directory to the user or a group is set fscl. Set fscl is a command. By using that command, you can assign permissions of a directory to the group. Okay. Set fscl. Yeah. So recursively, and then -m read write access -g g. Okay. G means group. Okay. So and then what is the group name? Dev group. Okay. And what kind of permissions I want to assign? Read, write, execute. I want to assign all the permissions. And then the repository. Git repo. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm setting some permissions. Okay. Of a directory. Which directory? Git repo directory. Okay. To the group. What is the group name? So that's why I'm using option is G is the option. G means group. And then what kind of permissions I want to assign? I want to assign read, write, execute, access. Okay. Is set. How can I check? How can I check that? So it is set successfully or not with the help of get fscl and then get repo. Git repo. So we have assigned some permissions to the group of the particular directory, but I want to check that. How can I check that? With the help of get fscl. Okay. Get FPS here. So here you can see the groups. What is the group? Dev group. So dev group is having our read, write, execute access of this particular Git repo. Okay. And how about the other groups? So this group is having read, write, execute access. But how are the other groups?
Yes.
Yeah, only read and execute access. Only this particular group is having write access. The other groups, they won't be able to write the changes. Other groups able to only read and execute of this particular repository. Okay, is it clear? Right, now. So this is done now. But one thing here. So as I said, what is the command we are going to use? Git clone dev1 user, right? And then the IP address. Like this, and then the locations and the repository location. Okay, Git repo. But this Git repo, right? So now that comes actual part is creating a soft link. I want to create a soft link of this repository because as a dev1 user I won't be able to access the root location. But our directory, our repository is present in which location? Root location / location. So for that purpose I am going to create a soft link of this repository into user home directory. Okay, clear? So how do we do that? Okay, so the command is ln is the command. Ln means soft link. Okay, ln -s and then comes the source and the destination. What is our source location? Root git repo, correct. Okay, and the destination is /home/ dev1 user. Okay, right, enter. Now if you change directory to /home/dev1 ls, look at here, the soft link has been created. If you want to check it, you can check with ls-l. So what do you see here? This is a soft link, okay, and this is linked with actual repository. That's what it means. Okay, this is created softly, so it is not a hard link. It is created softly. That means it is linking. Okay, so every changes whatever we do, those changes will affect to actual repository. Okay, this is what we call soft link. Okay, and also create for dev2 user as well. Okay, ln-s. ln means s means soft link. S means soft link here. Okay, L means link. Create a link, soft link. Okay, and then location is, source location is -git repo and then /home dev2. I want to create a soft link of this repository for dev2 user as well. Enter. Now cd /home/dev ls here. So I'm in dev2 location and dev2 is having this soft link. Okay, clear? Now we have everything is ready from server. Now comes the client part. So this is the client. Here is the client. Okay, so let me check whether the users are already existing or not. So I have dev1 user as well as dev2 user. See, if these users are not present, what you can do is you can create the users. Okay, how do we create a user add? But before that, you can just create a group first. Okay, group add dev group. Okay, then after that, user add. Okay, that means create a user and add that user to dev group. Okay, and then -m, and sorry, user home directory, right? User home directory is /home/dev1, and then -m -yes. So and then bin the same steps. Okay, the same steps whatever we have followed on the server side. Bin bash, and the username is dev1. Okay, and the same way you can create for dev2 user as well. Dev2 user. Okay, clear? And once you do that, then users will be created. Now you will be able to access the user. Okay, dev1 user and then dev2 user. Okay. Now switch user, dev1 user. Now I'm a dev1 user. Okay, I'm going to open one more terminal. Okay, but before that, 1 second here. Okay. Now I'm in user home directory. Dev1 is a user home directory. Okay, I'm in user home directory. In the user home directory, I have just some file. That's it. I don't have any repository yet. Okay. Now I'm going to open one more terminal. So this is one more terminal. Okay, or else let me do this. Look at here. Switch user as dev2 user. Okay. Now, so we have two users here. One is dev1 user, other one is dev2 user. Okay, these two users will be my clients. Dev1 user and then dev2 user. Okay. Now let's first try it from as a dev1 user. Okay, I'm a dev1 user now. Okay, look at here. I'm a dev1 user. I'm in user home directory already. That means I'm in my home directory, dev1 home directory. So into this home directory, I want to clone the repository. So how do we clone a repository? Git clone and then dev1, right? I'm not using root user credentials here. I'm using dev1 credentials at the rate we need IP address of the server. It's 189, 242.189. Okay. So 192.168.242.189. Okay. And then here, what is the location? Git repo. Why Git repo? We are cloning, but which user? We are cloning from which user? Dev1 user. Yes, correct. Now you understand. So why we have created a soft link? Okay. What is the location of that? Home, and then dev1. In dev1. Okay. Dev1, right? cd /home/dev1, and then git repo. cd git repo. So what is the location now? This is the location. /home/dev1/git. Okay. Go to the client machine now. So what is the location now? slash dev1 and then git repo. So I'm cloning this repository from user home directory and by using user credentials. Okay, enter. Yes. So it's asking to enter which user credentials? Dev1 user credentials. Okay. Now it is cloned. Okay. So I'm a Dev1 user, right? So where it will be cloned to? Which location? Yeah, correct. User home directory. Okay. So go to user home directory now. ls. Now git repo has been cloned. Okay. cd git. So there is a file already. You remember we have created this file in our previous sessions. So the file has been copied. So we have created this file in our previous sessions. Okay. Now, so let's go to dev2 user now. I'm a dev2 user. So what is my user home directory? Dev. User directory is user in slash home dev2 user. Okay. Then clone by git clone dev2 user and then at the rate IP address 189 and the directory is, what is the directory location? In dev2 home directory. So that means slash home slash dev2 slash git repo. Enter. It's already existing. Let me remove that. Okay. I just removed it and I'm going to clone that again. Okay. And then password of dev2 user. Okay. Root 1. ls it has been cloned. cd git repo file.java. Okay. Right? The same file. Now we can start doing operations like you can add some files, you can delete some files, you can do everything. Now just say here I'm a dev1 user. Okay, I'm a dev1 user. Right. As a dev1 user, I'm creating some file here. Okay, I'm creating a file here, some file2 dot java and then git status. So we need to add that file. Okay, we need to add that file. Git add file2.java and then what is the next step? Git commit. Okay, git commit -m and then committing it. So it has been named and then git push some whatever the master is, whatever that is. I'm just pushing it to master. Okay, you can push it to branch 1 and branch 2 as well, no issues. Okay, release 1, right? Release 1 and then now look at here, this is the password of dev1 user. Okay, you need to enter the password of dev1 user. That means his own passwords, his own credentials. Root 1 2 3 so and so. Error src release 1 does not match any. Okay, so we didn't have those branches. So first of all you need to create that branch, then you need to push it. Okay, or else let's push it to git push origin master create this, now push it, I want to push it to origin master. Okay. Now enter the credentials of dev1 user. Uh, it has been pushed successfully. Okay, right. Now I'm going to log in as dev2 user now. I'm a dev2 user. I'm a different user now. Okay, so I want to get that file. How can I get that file? Get clone. Is it clone? Why do you clone it again? It's already cloned, right? Sorry. Why do we clone it? We have already cloned it, right? Git pull. That means we need to update the local repository. But here, look at here, this is dev2 user credentials. So I'm entering his own credentials. So this is how we do the access control. Okay. So we are not using other user credentials. We are using my own credentials. Okay. Dev2 credentials. Now the file 2 has been added. Look at here. The file 2 has been added. Clear? So this is how we can control. So everything is same. Okay, now we can, as a dev2 user or as a dev1 user, I can do all the operations same as before. Everything is same, except here I am using my own credentials. That means I am controlling the user. So this is what we call access control. Okay, this is what we call access control. Clear? Right. So this is all about how we control the users. Okay, right now. So yeah, and tomorrow onwards we'll be starting with Maven. Okay, so that is the end of Git. So tomorrow onwards we'll start with Git. Okay, sorry, Maven. Okay, thank you.